And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MotorMaster Monday, live from the Charlotte Roval on NASCAR Heat 5. It is round 32 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. We have 17 drivers that entered this race here at the Charlotte Roval, and it is the cutoff race for the round of 12. We just saw stage 1 come to a close, the 7-lap stage. And it was the pole sitter of Jesse Carlson in the 20 picking up the stage win. Ayrton Frederick finishing in second. Matt Smith in third. Thomas Kohick fourth. Josh Colm-Diaz took the 5th spot from Trenton Krentz to take that final stage point. And we are rolling, folks. We are green again for stage 2 of the Charlotte Roval race. And, folks, there's a lot on the line. 4 drivers will not be advancing to the round of 8. And Jesse Carlson with a 2-car length advantage right away here on this restart. I'm NOSSCAR CEO Tyler McMurder alongside my 2 in-race reporters, Cameron Norton and Alex Tesdahl. They're out there on the track right now in the number 1 and 16 Chevy Camaros. Thanks a bunch, both of you, for joining me.
No problem. No problem.
Seeing good battles all over the racetrack so far, and it's early in this one. A lot of good road course racing all season long for the NASCAR MotorMaster Series and NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series. It's kind of become a nice art form here for the viewers to watch on the NASCAR Series Racing YouTube channel. We do a lot of road course racing, and these drivers are showing their skills here once again, this time at the Charlotte Roval, with a lot on the line, as I mentioned. Top 5 get the stage points, and we didn't see any drivers that desperately needed stage points get any of those. In fact, coming into this race, it is Jason Armstrong trying to advance his way, as well as Cameron Norton in the 1. Now, folks, Brett Baker was unable to attend, so as of right now, Armstrong is in based on points. He has a 6-point advantage over Cameron Norton coming into this race, and he's looking to hold on to that. And whoa, Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 car got a penalty, it looks like, coming out of the final turn right before the start-finish line, and that's going to cost him a couple of spots. How about Trey Hollywood all the way up into the 5th position in that 8 car? Battles all over this racetrack. Alex Tesdahl, Trenton Krentz, Josh Colm-Diaz, Jason Armstrong, they're all right here battling. Alex in the 16 car, 2 wins this season. He is a playoff driver, and he's above the cut line coming into tonight's race. There was minor contact there between he and the 36 of Trenton Krentz. Trenton's going to let them go by. In fact, Trenton's a 2-time NASCAR World Champion on Gran Turismo Sport, 3-time NASCAR champion overall, and it was a smart veteran move of him. He's a part-time driver, and he's going to let these playoff drivers go and battle it out. There's Cameron Norton in the 1. Going through one of the chicanes there. He's worked his way all the way up into the 7th position. Let's throw it down to him. Cameron, how's the car feeling? You come into this race needing some points. You need to beat Armstrong by 7 positions on the track, and that's assuming that neither of you get any stage points from finishing in the top 5 in the stages.
Yeah, the car's handling really great. We got 4 laps to go. I'm trying to close in on 5th and 6th here to at least get some stage points. That will probably help us out. But our goal here is neither one of us gets stage points. It's to finish ahead of him.
Good game plan, and there's Armstrong. As you can see, he's got a little bit of front-end damage, but he is still on the lead lap and inside the top 10. All of these drivers are actually on the lead lap, still have a shot to win this race. Here's the battle for 4th and 5th, 5th and 6th, actually. It's Trey Hollywood in the 8 car trying to hold on to it. Jason Doro, a playoff driver with 3 wins this season in that black and silver 08 Chevy Camaro, trying to look to the inside. Couldn't quite get the position. And it's been impressive, actually. It's been well noted and documented, actually, that Trey Hollywood in that 8 car in this MotorMaster Series is improving week by week on these road courses. Every time we see him, he goes from running in the top 15 to running consistently in the top 10, and now here he is in the top 5, running in 5th, having a strong run. A little bit further back towards the front, Thomas Kohick is actually going to surrender the 3rd position and come to pit road. He might be thinking track position for the final stage. If he comes down pit road now while pit road is open, keep in mind pit road closes with 2 laps to go in both stages. then he might be able to leapfrog everybody, stay out at the end of the stage, and get that track position. And Alex Tesdall, driver of the 16, letting us know we have a battle for the race lead, and he's right. Non-playoff driver Ayrton Frederick in the 15 goes to the inside of Jesse Carlson, looking for the race lead.
But coming to 2 laps to go, it's going to get interesting.
It really is, guys, and what's interesting about this is Ayrton's going for his first ever NASCAR MotorMaster Series win. He's got 2 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series wins in his career, both of which came on a road course. Finished in the top 5 in the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series race at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park a couple of weeks ago. He's always strong on these road courses, and showing it's no different here today at the Charlotte Roval, running in second and only a car length separating the two, with Matt Smith in third, about, I'd say, 8 or 9 car lengths back in that black and lime green number 10 Chevy Camaro. Coming to the line now, and Cameron, you said 2 laps to go and they hit the line, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so pit road closed as of now, and the top 3 have all crossed the line. They're side by side going for the lead in turn 1. Ayrton with a bold move at the bottom. There might have even been a little bit of contact made, and if so, Ayrton did a nice respectful move there, gave the lead back to the playoff driver Jesse Carlson. Would rather take the lead the right way with no contact. Very difficult to pass at a tricky, tight, narrow road course like the Charlotte Roval. There's a lot of little elevation changes here at this track, with a couple bumps here and there that can really upset the car. And both of these drivers doing a tremendous job battling for position, not bumping each other excessively, and keeping it clean out there. But it's allowing Matt Smith in the 10 to gain a little bit of ground on these two. The top 3 have separated themselves from the rest of the field just a little bit, but keep in mind Thomas Kohick was the driver scored in third when he made his pit stop under green flag conditions. Jason Doro was taken 4th from Trey Hollywood. Trey Hollywood back into the 5th position in that 8 car. We can let you know all about that, just to give you a bit of an update on where some of your favorite drivers are running. There's Jackson Stotts in the 6 car. He just got passed a couple of laps ago by Cameron Norton in the 1. Cameron up to the 6th position. Jackson back to 7th.
Working on 5th. Final lap here.
Yes, sir. White flag has been shown to these drivers, and there was a problem for Jesse Carlson. I didn't see what happened. We were checking in on the rest of the field, but it happened over in turn 1. Maybe even actually coming out of the final turn to the start-finish line, and he might have actually got a little out of shape and got a penalty for cutting the track. The game will actually bring the car to a dead stop for about 5 seconds if you cut the track, and I don't think Jesse would have tried to cut the track. Might have just gotten loose and lost control, and the car went there. But he does have a little bit of front end damage as well, so maybe he just got it really out of shape and made contact with the wall. I'm not too sure. We'll have to ask him in the post-race interviews. Nevertheless, Jesse back to 3rd, and this leaves the battle for the stage win to be decided between Ayrton Frederick in the number 15 and Matt Smith in the 10. It's been a career year for Matt Smith in that 10 car. Regular season champion, 9 wins, a total of 68 playoff points that he's going to bring into the round of 8. And he came close to getting another playoff point here, but through the last chicane and coming to the start-finish line, Ayrton Frederick is going to hang on, and he's going to win stage 2 at the Charlotte Roval. Non-playoff driver stealing the show here, and battle for 5th is on. Coming to the line, Trey Hollywood's going to hold on to that 5th and final stage point there, and that's key because Cameron Norton in the 1 desperately needs every point that he can. He needs to edge Armstrong by 7 positions in the race results in order to move on to the round of 8 and have Armstrong be the one left behind instead of the other way around. And both drivers have had a tremendous season, so really both drivers deserve it. So it's one of the hardest parts about hosting and owning a league here. They're all my buddies, and I'd love to see them all advance to the Final Four, but there's only room for 4. Let's throw it down to Alex Tesdall for the top 5 from stage 2.
Ayrton, Flash 9, NASCAR Roof, Mucka, and Bubba Hollywood.
What a drive by all these drivers, and I was talking about this. Thomas Kohick in the 07 gave up stage points. He's a non-playoff driver, doesn't really care about those stage points, and as I thought, as I suspected, he's going to be the leader for the restart in the final stage, and that was all the game plan. Track position might be key. That's what he's thinking. He's going to have 2 or 3 lap older tires, but we'll see how it goes. The green flag has been shown. Final stage time. How many laps in this stage, Cameron?
There's 30, and we have less than like 14 laps on the stage. So we will be good on fuel.
All these drivers good on fuel. No cautions for road course racing here in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series, so they have what they have. They're going to want to take care of their equipment for this entire final stage. Question is, can Thomas make it the entire final stage? He's got the lead, but keep in mind, he pit at the end of stage 2 under green with 3 laps to go and elected to stay out at the end of stage 2 for the final stage to take the lead. And now he's being challenged by Ayrton Frederick in the 15, who goes to the outside, and Thomas is actually going to pull over and let the top 3, top 5 all go by, and I'm not really sure what happened there to the 07. He's pulling off the racetrack, and he is done for the day. That was really unexpected. I guess maybe he thought he couldn't go the distance of the stage and then didn't want to get in the way of these playoff drivers, and that's just all speculation at this point. We'll get a report from him hopefully at some point. The lead goes to Ayrton Frederick in the 15, and a moment ago we saw the pole sitter Jesse Carlson get a little bit out of shape coming through the final chicane again at the start-finish line. Trey Hollywood scored in 5th just behind him. Excuse me, 4th rather, just behind him. Jason Doro scored in 5th. Cameron Norton scored in 6th, and Josh Colm-Diaz running in 7th. Jackson Stotts is trying to take that 7th position from him. Trenton Krentz has a front row seat for that battle. Jason Armstrong rounding out the top 10 in the 10th position. And they're all still soldiering on in the final stage. It's round 32 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. 36 races in a season here for us, and 5 races remaining if you include this one, and 4 drivers are eliminated from the playoffs after this race. And unfortunate news for Dustin Franklin fans, he is out of the race in that number 11 car, done for the day. Engine problems before we even began tonight's race, and he'll be eliminated because of that. Jeffrey Robinson Jr., driver of the 61 car, tremendous season for him, had high hopes coming into the playoffs, had other priorities to attend to tonight and could not be here, and he'll be eliminated as well. Brett Baker, same deal. Number 21 has a win this season, 3 playoff points. It's his rookie season as well, and Brett will be eliminated. So it's going to be a battle between Cameron Norton and Jason Armstrong for that final spot, and we're getting a report. Jackson Stotts and Jason Doro have both crashed over in the final chicane coming to the start-finish line. That's been a problem area all race long, and let's go throw it down to Alex Tesdall, the driver of the 16 car, who had a bit of a front row seat for that entire battle.
Looks like the 6 car missed the braking zone and caught the wall there.
And then a good old-fashioned case of Jason Doro not having anywhere to go.
Yeah.
That's a tough deal. Both drivers still on the lead lap, but a huge amount of damage to both of those machines. And Armstrong, Alex Tesdall, Trenton Krentz, they were all able to safely make it by, and they're all inside the top 10 with very little damage to those 3 race cars, in pretty good shape. So we'll quickly back down to Alex. Alex, what position are you in? You're a playoff driver. You came in pretty safe when it comes to the playoff cut line. How's the car feeling? What position are you in? And what's the points bracket looking like for you at this point?
Currently running 8th. The car's feeling good, and pretty sure if we stay where we are, we'll be safe.
All right. And just to let everybody know, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., owner of Juicy J Motorsports, just commented on the live stream, wishing his drivers that race for him and his race team good luck in tonight's race. Wishes he could be here. And shout out to you, Jeffrey, and wish you could be here as well. And good luck to you in the playoffs for the Truck Series tomorrow night. Top 3 have kind of scooted away from the rest of the field a bit here. The only one of those 3 that has any kind of damage is Jesse Carlson, and he actually just went off course a little bit. the left-hand turn that leads you back out to turns 3 and 4 of the actual oval layout of this track. Jesse got out of shape over there, had to really slow down to avoid making contact with the inside wall, and he has dropped about 20 to 25 car lengths behind the top two. As a result, Trey Hollywood scored in 4th. Cameron Norton has worked his way all the way into the 5th position, folks, and that's huge. Comes into this race needing a big race, a big points payout in order to advance his way into the round of 8, and so far he's doing just that. He scored in the top 5. His teammate Josh Colm-Diaz is the only car that's relatively close to him to challenge for that position, and even then he's still about 1.5 to 2 seconds behind.
7 laps to go.
7 to go.
All I gotta do is just hold on. But yeah, Tyler, this track is so tricky.
And around is Jesse Carlson through
no.
I believe that's coming to turn 4 there, and he's actually going to fall outside the top 3. Trey Hollywood in the 8 car is going to take the 3rd position, and he's looking for his first ever podium in NASCAR on a road course. It's a career high that he's ever run here in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series on a road course, and he's doing really well. He's kept the nose clean on that number 8 Chevy Camaro all race long, slowly, methodically working his way to the front quietly as well. We haven't spoken too much about him in this broadcast, considering the speed that he's brought here tonight. And now this is allowing Cameron Norton in the 1 to close in. There's heavy damage to the front of the number 20 Toyota Supra of Jesse Carlson. I'm assuming that eventually he's going to maybe fall victim to that damage, and eventually the 1 might be able to challenge him for that position. There's Armstrong. Let's throw it down to Alex Tesdall in the 16. He's going to have a better idea on where Armstrong is running than I am at this point. Alex, what position are you both running in?
Armstrong is 8th, and I'm in 9th.
All right. Good race for 2 playoff drivers that need it. Alex was above the playoff cut line coming into this race, but still needed a good day, relatively needed a good day to stay there. Armstrong definitely needed a good day. He needs to stay within 6 positions on the racetrack from Cameron Norton in the 1 to advance his way into the round of 8. Right now, Cameron Norton in that 1 car scored in the 5th position. Armstrong is scored in the 8th position. So that would, if the race were to end now, that would not quite be good enough for Cameron Norton to advance, and Armstrong in the 12 would be the 8th driver to advance to the round of 8. There's a lot going on in this race. There's a lot on the line, and it's just trying to keep the viewers at home updated on what everybody is going for here and what's at stake. Right now, Matt Smith, 9 wins this season. You might think at this point there's nothing really at stake for him, but really there is. He's going for a record here. He's trying to hold the record for the most wins in a season and pass Noko, who holds that record with 10 wins in a single season just last year in the 2020 season on NASCAR Heat 4. Matt Smith in the 10 trying to better that. He's got 9 wins this season, and he's got 5 races remaining, including this one, to do it. Just in front of him, Ayrton Frederick in the 15, 2 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series wins in his career. He won the NASCAR Jeff Gordon Award last year for having the most NASCAR wins in a calendar year. And here he is, off to a great start in 2021. He's got a truck win this year at Road America, and he's looking for his first ever NASCAR MotorMaster Series win here today at the Charlotte Roval, and there's only a handful of laps left, Cameron.
Yeah, we're coming down to 4 to go. I'm catching Bubba for the 4th spot. Jesse Carlson just passing for the 3rd spot. But you ought to think with all that damage, it should be hurting that 20.
You would think so, but I guess the talent that he brings to these road courses, he really is the Chase Elliott of NASCAR. He seems to win almost every time we go to one of these road course races, so I don't know. It must be enough to overcome that damage, because now you're right, he's kind of surged past Trey Hollywood in the 8 car and driven away just a little bit back into the 3rd position. And what's big about that is At the end of these races, it's the top 3 drivers in the final race results that receive the playoff points. 3 for the winner, 1 for second, and 1 for third. And if Jesse can hang on and finish third, that's a playoff point that would carry over with him for the rest of his playoff run if he were to continue to advance. And I didn't see what happened, but I think that Matt Smith had a bit of a moment there about a half a lap ago, maybe a third of a lap ago, because he was pretty close to the back bumper of the 15 of Ayrton Frederick. But now he's dropped, I would say, about 11, 12, maybe even 13 car lengths back when they're on a long, lengthy straightaway and up to full speed. It's quite the margin now, and he's no longer within immediate striking distance and able to capitalize if Ayrton were to make a serious mistake. If Ayrton can just run a couple more smooth laps, he's going to be a NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series race winner.
Car turn 2 on the oval.
Getting a report from Alex Tesdall. There's a slower car over in the turns, and we didn't...
36.
Oh, okay. So it was Trenton. Trenton Krentz had a bit of a moment there. He's back up to speed, we're hearing. Still in the top 10, but he lost a position there to Armstrong.
Three laps to go.
Whew. They took off quick.
Bubba made a mistake. Oh.
Man, there's good battles all over the racetrack. It's hard to find one that I want to watch, because if I leave for 1 minute, something changes. And yeah, you're right. Good battle here for the 4th and 5th positions between Trey Hollywood in the 8, Cameron Norton in the 1. Cameron a playoff driver, Trey Hollywood not a playoff driver. And this would be another valuable point for Cameron in that 1 car. He needs to beat Armstrong by 7 spots on the final race results to edge him and advance to the round of 8. 6 positions would tie him, and then I would need to review the best finish for both of them in this playoff round. But 7 would for sure clinch him into that round of 8. They made a little bit of contact there. Cameron took a look, and Trey Hollywood drove it in really deep to stay alongside the 1 car and keep him pinned over there. And Trey's going to hold on to that 4th position for the time being. Good battle here. Armstrong and Trenton Krentz. I believe it's a battle for 7th and 8th, and Alex Tesdall in the 16, front row seat, running in that 9th position. Ooh, a little bit of contact was made there. Trenton hangs on to it. Armstrong's going to take the position for now. 2 laps remaining. And something had to have happened with Ayrton Frederick there. All of a sudden, Matt Smith in the 10 is 4 car lengths behind the number 15, and he's right there all over the back bumper. Both of these drivers running in the top 2 have taken turns, making an error on the racetrack and allowing the other to capitalize and have a chance to win yet again. And we're coming around through the final turn, turn 4 for the oval layout of this racetrack, and through the final chicane now, which has been a problem area all race long, but they both make it through clean this time. 4 or 5 car lengths separating the 2, and we'll have to get confirmation, but I believe they are now on the final lap.
Working on the final lap.
All right then. So it is on, folks. It's going to be a war here.
Down.
Yes, sir. Non-playoff driver versus a playoff driver that's looking to break a record here, or tie a record. If Matt Smith in the 10 car wins, he ties Noco's record for the most wins in a single season. If Ayrton Frederick wins in the 15, it is his first ever NASCAR MotorMaster Series win. And both of these drivers looking to do it the clean and professional, mature way. They've only got a couple more turns and a couple more passing zones to do it.
6th position.
Oh, they're side by side. Heading into this chicane, there was contact made between the 2. And Matt Smith is actually going to take the lead and pull him by about 2 or 3 car lengths. Let's see if Ayrton has enough time to get there. Only going to be 1 more chicane, and it's been a wild passing zone all race long. Here comes Ayrton. A huge power move to the inside, and Ayrton Frederick wins the Cure 250 at the Charlotte Roval with a wild last lap pass in the final turn. He sent it in there as hard as he could. There was minor contact made. Both of them kept it pointed in the right direction. There was no harm, no foul. Contact was made actually in the final 2 chicanes of this race. Both of them fought hard for this one. And it was Ayrton Frederick in the number 15 car parking in a victory lane here tonight. Wow, what a race. And third is...
I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Right, I'm not sure either. Third is actually going to go to Jesse Carlson in the 20. Cameron Norton is going to take home 4th. And let's find out from Alex Tesdahl where Armstrong finished.
He brought it home 8th. Doesn't look like enough.
All right, and take photos of the results for me as well, please. And, yeah, we have heartbreaking news for Cameron Norton. I believe, anyways, the points will be tallied up, but the unofficial results and the unofficial updated point standings indicate that Jason Armstrong in the 12 is going to advance to the round of 8 by 3 positions, or excuse me, 3 points, which is 3 spots on the track over Cameron Norton. We're going to verify this and confirm this, and we're going to have some post-race interviews coming up. What a race to the end there by 2 legends on these road courses on NASCAR Heat 5. 2 of the very best road course ringers on this game. Both of them are going to be in the King of the Road tournament. So was Jesse Carlson, who finished in 3rd today. So was Jason Doro, who had a great run up until he got caught up in an incident with the 6th car of Jackson Stotts. There's going to be a lot of these drivers in that King of the Road tournament. So if you were a fan of what you saw tonight, make sure you watch that in April. And congratulations to Ayrton Frederick. And fastest lap of the race goes to Matt Smith, the 2020 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, and it was not by a wide margin, 0.2 of a second between he and Ayrton, and about a half a second back to Jesse Carlson. Those laps were actually about a second quicker than their qualifying times. And stick around, folks. You'll see a blue screen for a moment, but we're going to come back within about 20 seconds here and give you some post-race interviews with the top 3 finishers. Hollywood 5th, right?
I think so. Let me check.
Hang tight here.
Yeah, Hollywood 5th.
And let the post-race interviews begin, and we're going to begin with Trey Hollywood. And I needed to bring him in here for this. I know he wasn't in the top 3, but we're going to conduct interviews with the top 5 because I couldn't wait to speak to him. Man, you look like a natural out there. You look like a road course ringer. I don't know why you're not entered into the King of the Road tournament, and it seems like every time you come back to these road courses, you're just better and better than the last time we saw you, and now you're battling for top 5 spots on these road courses. Take us through your race. Tell us how you were able to find so much speed out there and hang on for a top 5 finish. You could tell you were having fun, and you could tell you had a top 5 car. That's for sure. Nobody slipped on a banana peel. Nobody threw the blue leader shell, and it took everyone out on the way except you today. This is not Mario Kart. You flat out did this here tonight and drove up to a top 5 finish. How do you go about racing the playoff drivers, knowing that you're not a playoff driver, but you still want to go out there and get the best finishes that you can? You had some good battles with a lot of the playoff drivers, and you kept it clean. Oh, and you did more than that here tonight. You did a great job. Congratulations on a top 5 at the Charlotte Roval. Anytime someone gets a good finish at the Charlotte Roval, I'd applaud them. It's my worst track, in my opinion, anyways. And yeah, Trey Hollywood showing that it's actually more one of his better tracks and getting a solid finish out of the day. We're going to throw it down now to the driver who finished in 4th, a driver who really needed a good run, and he had a great run, actually. Cameron Norton, driver the 1, finished in 4th. Cameron, you needed to beat Armstrong by 7 spots here tonight to advance to the round of 8. The results and point standings are unofficial at the moment, but you had a great run. You pretty much did all that you could do. You brought it home in 4th. There was only a few drivers that you couldn't catch and pass here today, and it was the guys that, I don't know, seem to go out there and win almost every time we're at a road course. How happy, how disappointed are you at the end of this one?
I'm happy that we finished 4th at the Roval. Oh my God, one of my worst tracks, and we did it, but thanks to Bubba for letting me have the spot. I know I tried everything I could to get by him, though I can go catch the other guy that was in front of him. Just didn't have enough today. It hurts that we might have lost our chances of advancing, but what a year that we've had. Showing speed, got us a pole early this year. Happy about that. Everybody in this whole group, they're fun to race with, and we're going to go for wins if we don't advance. That's the goal now.
I was going to ask you about that, but you just touched on it. You're going to go for the wins. You're going to be a bit more aggressive, I'm assuming, or how are you going to go about getting the best results you can, knowing that, is there less pressure on you now, knowing that you're not trying to beat certain drivers and trying to advance at this point?
Most definitely there's less pressure. If you get knocked out of the playoffs, you can gamble a lot more. You can race them more harder than what you can. Still, you have to race them with the same respect that they race you, and I've kind of learned a lot about that through the years of NASCAR that I've been in here, and just came up short.
Still had a great season, and still room for you to get that first win of the season. Good luck to you, and congratulations on that top 5 tonight.
Thank you.
Moving forward, we have the driver who finished in the 3rd position. It was the pole sitter, actually, Jesse Carlson. And Jesse's known to be the Chase Elliott of NASCAR, if you will. Wins a lot of road courses around here, and he's usually the guy that everyone looks at to win when we go to the road courses. Jesse, when we came into this race tonight, that's what everyone was thinking. Everyone thought the same as they always do. He's got this. He's on the pole. No one's going to touch him. We might see his back bumper and for a couple laps, and then after that, it's going to be long gone. And I don't know, it seemed like the longer this race went, it looked like the 20 car was getting a little bit looser for you. You lost control, lost touch with the top 2 a couple times. Take us through your race. What was the difficulty with the car here in this race?
Well, stage 1 was normal. Didn't really have too much pressure to worry about. Stage 2, that front stretch chicane is kind of tricky to take, especially. No, I'll save that for later. But just taking it the correct way and all that, and I hit with coming to 1 lap to go. I hit the I hit the blue turtle on the entry and it got me real loose, and I tried saving it, but it wasn't enough. I at least came third in stage 2 and stage 3, and I was able to get back around them, but again, too much pressure. I got too much pressure, and
Did you maybe need more
done.
pits? Did you maybe need more pit stops to make some adjustments to the car to get it better? The only time that we saw people pitting were at the end of the stages. There was no green flag pit stops needed in this race tonight.
I felt like my car was fine. I went with the loose 8 tonight, and guess it was just a little too tight. I don't know, but yeah, GG to everyone else, and just not the race I was looking forward to.
Still a top 3 and still a playoff point that will go with you into the round of 8. Congratulations.
Okay, bye.
And moving over to the driver who finished runner-up here and made it really interesting at the end there, Matt Smith, the driver of the 10 car, 9 wins this season, and he was looking to make some history here tonight by tying the record with Noco for the most wins in a single season. You nearly did it, Matt. You made a bold move in the second last chicane on the last lap. There was a little bit of contact made between you two. You were able to take the lead and drive out by about, I don't know, 3 car lengths, I would say. Did you think at that point that you had it? What did you expect in the last chicane?
I mean, I figured that he would try to make up the ground entering. I wasn't going to charge it any harder, and only took it one way the whole race, so was a little conservative, and he shot it underneath me. And had I turned right like I wanted to, it probably would have put him in the wall or spun him out. So I tried to give him room, and then I didn't really have the room to pick up the gas like I needed to beat him to the line. But great finish. It was a great race.
It was a wild, exciting finish, and we've seen so many of those this season for the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series and the trucks on Tuesdays as well. And you've been a part of a lot of those. You're definitely cemented into the NASCAR memories and the legacy around here, just because you've won a lot of races and you've been a part of a bunch of big moments. You were a part of another one here tonight. And I wanted to ask you, how did you get that close at the end, though? Because when I checked on you guys a couple of times, there was about 10, 15 car lengths separating you two. Were you quicker than him in certain sectors of the track?
Well, the gap kind of came because I messed up pretty bad exiting the back stretch chicane one lap, and I was about 2 seconds behind. And I didn't really catch, what happened with him. He might have gotten loose at a different area of the track, but as soon as I closed the gap, anywhere from turn 1 all the way through the infield was really where I, could take a chunk out of his lead. And then it was really just trying to maintain coming through the backstretch chicane. I felt like that was my weakest spot. And the rest, it was just trying to be on attack, but he did a great job. He didn't make any big mistakes. If he made one at all, it was just minor. And I mean, I really wanted it. I really wanted that win. It was just more of trying to force him into a mistake, and we both overshot the back stretch there on the last lap. And I thought he had a penalty there for a second, but he kept going, and it was a good finish. I didn't want to, again, just move him out of the way. I know he's come really close to winning races this year, and I think it's fair that everyone has an equal chance to at least race it to the line or at least the last corner.
A job well done for you tonight. A nice top 3 finish and another playoff point that'll carry with you over to the round of 8. But honestly, as long as you have a couple of good finishes in the round of 8, you're pretty much a lock for the round of 4. Congratulations on another solid run tonight.
All right, thank you. You're going to give it hell in Kansas, and congrats, Ayrton. You did a great job.
And on to victory lane we go. The driver of the number 15 Chevy Camaro parked in victory lane in a NASCAR MotorMaster Series victory lane for the first time in his career. And what a race it was. What a memorable way to get your first win. When you got your first win for trucks, Ayrton, it was by a long margin. Eventually you ran down Jimmy Best and you were able to drive away and beat him decisively. This one was a photo finish and a watchable one over and over and over for years to come. Take us through those final laps, trying to keep that 15 car in front of the 10, and then take us through that final chicane, trying to get back in front of him once he was able to get around you.
Well, I knew that I at least felt like I was faster through both chicanes at least, but he was really closing in the infield, and you touched on it when you were interviewing him. I pulled away a ton, and I don't know if I was just getting comfortable and not pushing, or if he was just really driving it, but he closed back up. And it came to 2 to go, and I was just wishing the race would end that lap, because I knew that with how fast he'd been the last few laps, he was going to have a shot on the last lap.
How was your car handling from your... Oh, I apologize.
Well, to run through the last lap, he got right on me through the infield section. I knew that was going to happen because of how good he was through there, and it was the closest he'd been, or really anybody seemed to be, all night going in the backstretch chicane. I knew I was faster than him if I had the right line, but I wanted to block the inside, so we wouldn't have that, because I always just feel more comfortable blocking the inside and forcing them around the outside. But I overshot the corner. I'm not sure if I missed a gear or just braked too late, but I missed the corner and pushed him off the track with me. And the entire time I knew, with my luck, something was going to go wrong. I didn't think it'd be that. And I forced both of us off the track, and I was like, I don't want to win it this way. So I let him back through, gave him the lead, and I thought it was over. And then the door was wide open, and I wasn't even expecting to make a move. I thought he was far enough that he had the race won. But going into the final chicane, he was really slow on entry, and I was like, I might have a shot at this again. So I just drove it through really the same way I did all night. And there was a little bit of contact on exit, but it wasn't enough to really bother either of our cars enough, and I just beat him back to the line. But it was messy. Wasn't quite the way I'd want to win my first one, but I finally got it done, and it's finally a chip off my shoulder.
Absolutely. It looked like you had a top 3 car all race long, too, since the very beginning. How did you go about setting your car up for this race? Did you go with a tighter preset slider so that way it came to life later in the run, or were you loose right off the hop?
I was a little looser. I've always just been more comfortable driving a loose race car, because that way I could just kind of slide into the corners and just drive it on raw talent. But it did feel like it came to life, especially in the middle of stage 3. I felt like that was when the car was at its best. But as time went on, the loose setup just... I really don't know what happened, if it was just tires or what, but at the end of the race, my tires were gone or something, and he just caught right back up.
If you find victory lane in the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series, you become the 11th driver to become a Triple Crown winner, holding a win in Cup, Motormaster, and Trucks. You're driving the 48 car full-time for the Platinum Cup Series on Fridays. Tell us more about your Cup Series so far, and where do you think you'll find victory lane in that series?
Well, I've had a pretty good season, a little bit better than I'm expecting. Some bad luck here and there on Friday nights. Honestly, Talladega was my race to win, but I made a mistake there. I really got to clean up some of my mistakes, missing a gear. But Talladega, I honestly probably should have, could have, would have won. But if not there, then probably a road course where I've won my other truck races in this one.
Yeah, I'd bet a house on it. Congratulations, Ayrton. You did great tonight, and good job getting that first win here in the MotorMaster Series.
Thanks, Ty. Good race, Flash.
And let's quickly throw it over to Alex Tesdall, one of our 2M race reporters from this race. Alex, you got a top 10 finish in this race. You've been one to admit that road courses are not necessarily your forte, but you did pretty good out there tonight. You salvaged points, and you're advancing to the round of 8. Tell us what that means to you as a driver, and tell us what your goals are for the 3 races in the round of 8, beginning with Kansas tonight.
Yeah, it definitely means a lot to get to the round of 8, and, you know, as you said, I'm not a great road racer, but I feel like I ran a pretty good race at the Roval and brought home a top 10. But anyway, about the round of 8, go win a race and advance to the Final Four is my goal. Don't know if it'll happen, but we'll try.
I like the goal, and shooting for the dream, shooting for the stars. I appreciate that, and good luck to you in that journey.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that is going to do it. Thank you to everybody who joined us for round 32 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season. It was the Cure 250 at the Charlotte Roval, and when it was all said and done, it was the 15 car. Ayrton Frederick parking it in victory lane, first ever NASCAR MotorMaster Series win. It was a wild battle between he and Matt Smith, one of the playoff drivers and arguably the favorite to win the championship this year. They both put it all on the line there, and we saw 2 lead changes on the last lap. We had no idea coming to the line who was going to be the winner between the two, and man, it was Ayrton Frederick somehow pulling it off, and it's been a long time coming for him to get this first NASCAR MotorMaster Series win, and we hope everyone enjoyed the show. We're glad everybody was able to tune in and watch history made here tonight. And from all of us here at NASCAR, we're saying so long, stay fast, and watch out for that Kansas race coming up here in just a few moments.